Hey everybody, Craig Warwick here, and my reviews of the Marvel 80th anniversary series of Marvel Legends roll on with the X-Men Retro Wave, and this time I'm going to be taking a look at Iceman. Bobby Drake's mutant power allows him to lower temperatures and control moisture in his environment, creating snow and ice. As one of the 5 original X-Men, Bobby created a protective layer of snow and later ice around his body and took the name Iceman. Iceman is the constant self-deprecating joker of the X-Men, but that attitude keeps him from fully realising the extent of his Omega-level mutant powers. I have to admit that Iceman is one of my favourite heroes. I love the extent of his powers, and I had a childhood crush on him based on how cool he was in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, with his fun look and awesome ice slides. Yeah, that's a bit suspicious. But, well, Iceman isn't looking all that great out of the package, to be honest. He's just a bit basic across the board. This is the Sunfire body that we have now seen used on a good few characters. I still really like the body, and it's a good size for Iceman, but given how basic this figure is, it would have been nice to get some more angular musculature to help capture the ice armour of his body. The last figure of Iceman we got had unique forearms, hands, lower legs and feet to sell the blocky look of the ice. This one doesn't get any of that. There isn't any paint to speak of on the body, but the figure is cast in a semi-transparent and pearlescent white plastic. It works quite well for the figure, but a little dry brush or spray of white might have helped highlight some of the details more. Somewhere I don't want to see any more detail is the head sculpt. Here's actual live footage of me unboxing the figure. What an ugly bastard. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but yikes. The massive chin, inbred banjo-playing boy ears, glum expression. It's a sign that things have gone wrong when the best the artist they got to draw the figure on the back could do was this mugshot. I know Iceman is a mutant, but come on, not one of the cannibalistic ones from The Hills Have Eyes. The head isn't my cup of tea at all, and what's even worse is the effect the transparent plastic has created when it cured. There's this line going straight from the top of his head down the side of his nose to his jaw. I could have sworn that my figure had a huge gash in his face, but it's just the way the plastic has cured. It's really distracting, making it look like he's been smacked in the face with a machete, and it does nothing to help a face that only Mama Fratelli could love. In terms of paint, there's not much to talk about, but still, it's not great. Bobby gets a touch of paint on his eyes, but the grey guy liner they've used highlights where they've missed the mark. And apart from that, the only other painted detail is the X on his belt, which guess what, is again off-centre. Iceman comes with one accessory. Yup, no alternate hands or ice blast effects, but don't worry, we get an ice slide to recreate the awesome way Iceman gets around. Wait, what? Is that it? Jesus Christ. It's really small and unimpressive. The sculpt is decent enough and there's a single foot peg so that Iceman can stand on it. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be adding though. It's not even high enough to help him reach the top shelf in the kitchen, never mind skate around a sentinel. It's also cast in a different coloured plastic from the main figure. It has more of a bluish tint to it, and I think I prefer this colour to the plain white of the main figure, but whichever colour you feel is better, it'd be nice if the figure and accessory matched though, Ugh. More accessories would really have helped this figure. Even in the card art he has open hands and ice energy effects. Why couldn't we get those rather than this pathetic mismatched ice slide? Anyway, let's take a look at his articulation, which is pretty decent. His head rotates and looks down this far and up this far. His arms rotate at the shoulders and move up this far. There's also a butterfly joint that lets his arms reach forward this far and back. His arms rotate at the top of the bicep. There's a double jointed elbow that bends a little more than 90 degrees. A swivel at the wrist, and his hands hinge this far forward and back. There's an ab crunch that bends this far forward and back. Rotation at the waist, with the belt being a separate piece that can be moved out of the way. His legs can kick this far forward, not really back, this far out to the side. There's rotation at the top of the thigh, double jointed knees that let his legs bend right back on themselves, rotation at the mid-calf, a hinge at the ankle that moves this far forward and back, and ankle rockers. And as the legend goes, this is his widest possible stance, still with both feet flat on the floor. So that's Iceman. He's certainly better than the all-new, all-different box set Iceman, but seeing as that is among some of the worst Marvel Legends ever, that's not saying much. It's certainly a more desirable look for the character than the previous Juggernaut wave Iceman, but it doesn't get anywhere near the effort put into it that figure did. This is just a disappointing figure and comes across as a really lazy cash grab. Poor sculpt, poor paint, poor accessories. There's no Build-A-Figure part. Where was all the money spent on this figure? Now, the figures do seem to retail at a slightly lower price than normal Marvel Legends, and it's clear I'll need to drop my expectations for this wave based on that. So for me, this isn't a great start for the Retro X-Men wave, and I really cannot recommend this figure, except for the nostalgia that the carded figure delivers. Hasbro do seem to have taken several attempts at Iceman though, so here's hoping that there's going to be another one down the line somewhere and that it will be a lot better than this. Thanks for watching anyway, and for liking and subscribing. You can check out more reviews here on my channel along with my custom action figures, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Until then though, pour on the power. Bye bye.